Well, hello again, friend. Welcome to Live with Ease. My name is Julia, and we're at it again. We are exploring Bird of Paradise from the ground up, part two, and this is where we're moving into the most challenging portion of the posture or the movement. I like to say movement because I feel that although it's a pose, there's still life to it. There's still movement. It's not stagnant. Okay, so we want to keep that in mind when we go to something that's more challenging, because that's going to keep us from the grip and the stranglehold and pulling us away from the earth. This posture specifically, we need to get closer to the earth. We need to find softness and ease. And you will see it's very messy. My version is messy. Like I said, it's not something that I practice often, and you get to see me in my process, which is kind of exciting. I am familiar with the posture. I know about the posture, and I know what it asks, and what parts of the body are present in knowing what we need to focus on. However, again, I don't practice it. I say regularly, but I'm going to say not at all. So it's exciting for me to share with you. It's vulnerable, just showing you my process or sharing my process with you. And I hope that inspires you a little bit to give it a try and to be gentle on yourself, to go easy, to be patient, have some grace. Because I've been practicing for over 20 years, almost 30 years. I've been doing yoga, and it's shifted. My approach has shifted, but it's exciting again to share my vulnerability and my messiness in something that's super challenging. And again, if you have any questions or concerns, please send it my way. I hope you enjoy. Again, we'll need a stool or a chair or a strap and a folded towel or blanket, and also your willingness to be patient with yourself and go step by step. So you should only be at this video at this stage if you have done the previous videos and really prepped your body for this posture, okay? Because it does ask a lot. But some of you might be naturally more open in areas that I may not be, so it might not be as challenging. Keep in mind the stages, the process, where we need to focus on grounding and ease. All right, you're all amazing, super excited for this. And be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to share the channel or this video with someone who you think would benefit, or this series. And I would love to hear about how this process is going for you. So be sure to either DM me on Instagram, comment below, send me an email at julie@livewithEase.ca. All right, so get into your yoga cozies, your comfy cozies, and grab all your goodies, and we will see you on the mat very soon. All right, here we are with all our goodies yet again. We have our stool, our strap, and our folded blanket or towel. Definitely use it again. And we're going to start off similar to the last video, just playing with a little bit of spinal movement. So if you want to add a bit of flexion and extension, and he's snaking through. Good. And he's circling in the ribs or the pelvis. Okay. And we're going to start with lunge, getting into a lunge, and start exploring a little bit of the bind. Okay, so that's where the strap will come in if we need it. I will show you different options. So we're also going to play with external and internal rotation in the lunge, okay? So why don't we start by extending that right leg back, rolling along the ball of the foot. I'm assuming you've already warmed yourself up from the first 2 videos. If you're taking that next step, obviously this next step into Bird of Paradise, I hope you at least did the warm up from the first video of the series. And then we'll continue on from where you left off on that video. So make sure that you're nice and warm. Shoulders are warm, hamstrings are warm. We're going to do a little bit, but it's always good to be beautifully warm. So crossing that right leg over left, rolling along the ball of the foot, and then taking that right leg out to its own side. Again, if you want to do a little rocking on the heel. Yeah, also the warm-up gets us connected to the breath and the breath integrating with the movement. Just again, that we're continuing to remind ourselves to breathe as we move, and especially as things get more challenging, okay? And then walking that right leg in front. So finding your lunge, we'll do a little bit of exhaling into the lunge. Inhaling away. Exhale into the lunge. Again, you can inhale through the center, exhale into the hamstring. Inhale through the center, exhale into the lunge. And then from here, when you settle into your lunge, you're going to externally rotate in that front hip and let the toes open out. So rolling on the heel, but make sure we rotate in the hip. And then you're going to roll, inwardly rotate with that left. Ooh, you might feel that nice, beautiful sensation on the outer part of the right thigh and pelvis. And then coming back to the center. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to externally rotate in that left hip, bending the knee, turning that leg out like so. And then you're going to exhale and release into that external rotation. Coming back to the center, parallel. Exhale into the center. Inhale, come out of it. Again, externally rotate in that front leg, that right hip. Internally rotating in the left. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Good. And then back to the center. Externally rotate. Yeah. And what you can start to do as we come back to the center, as you're working through these movements, is on the next one, I can start to take that right shoulder, internally rotate it, bend the elbow, and place the hand on the outside of the left side of the pelvis. I don't know if you can see my fingers down at the bottom wiggling. Yeah. And then back to the center. Externally rotate, take that left hand back. Good. Let's do one more. Back to the center. Good. And then from here, what you're going to start to do, you'll come out of the lunge a little bit. You're going to internally rotate that right shoulder. You're going to see if you can bind the hands here. And then you're going to exhale, come into that side lunge. Inhale away, pressing into that right heel. Find a little bit of that hamstring, shifting the weight of the pelvis towards that left leg. Inhale through the center. Exhale, really grounding in that right foot, that heel. One of your best friends during this movement. Good. Nice. I'm just going to show you another option with the strap. If you're having a challenging time binding the hands or taking hold of the hands, what you could do is you could take your strap. You're going to feed it through the front of that right leg. Find the strap behind you as if you were going to do the bind. And then just wrap the strap as close, wrapping the strap so your hands are as close as they can be. And then you can play with it here. So it's all going to depend on your rotation and flexibility in the shoulders. Again, I want to keep that length in the spine, so I'm not crunching too much and creating compression here on the side. Find that length, opening up to the ceiling. Good, 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 good. Beautiful. Nice. And then release the strap. Bring the hands back onto the ground. Bringing the feet parallel, hips parallel, legs parallel. Take that right leg back. Give it a good shake. And we're going to find a double hip extension of some sort. So that could be child's cat to cobra. There's your double hip extension here. Again, finding that length. Or it could be, on the forearms and elbows. Moving in and out of flexion and extension. Or you can rest the forehead on the hands. Bend the elbows, rock the legs side to side. Good. Yeah, so again, any one of these variations. Again, if you do child's cat to cobra, it might feel nice to come in and out of it a few times. Yes. Good. Nice. And then when you're ready, we're going to extend that left leg back, rolling along the ball of the foot. Good, crossing that left leg over right. And then left leg out to its own side. Again, you can rock on the heel. Pelvis to heel. Nice. Good. And then bringing that left foot in front. And then we're going to move in and out of the lunge. Exhale, come into the lunge. Inhale away. Exhale into the hamstring if you choose. Inhale through the center. Exhale into the lunge. Beautiful. Inhale away. Exhale into the hamstring. Nice. So then from here, we're going to do that external rotation in that left hip, left foot, finding that internal rotation in the right hip. Be mindful of the knee of the externally rotated hip, yeah? Make sure it feels safe and okay. Bringing the foot back. Externally rotate that right hip. Come into that external rotation. Good. And then back to the center. Good. Finding your internal rotation. Keeping that length. I have to remind myself. Good. And then coming through to the center, externally rotate. Nice. And then through the center. This time, if you want to take that left arm behind, wrapping it behind, bringing the left hand to the right side of the pelvis. Good. And then through the center, opening up into the external rotation, right hand out to the side. Let's do one more like that. Through the center and internally rotate. Oh, yeah. And then through the center, externally rotate. Nice. And then again, we can come up a little bit, find that bind. So your left shoulder is going to internally rotate to feed underneath that left thigh to find the right hand. And then from here, you ground. I was going to say grind. Ground. Ooh, what's happening here? Ground that left heel. Lower into the side lunge here with the bind. And then come out of it. If you want to go a little into the hamstrings, only as much as it feels okay. Don't push too far, just in and out. Hopefully by this time, though, the hamstrings are nice and long because this is going to be part of Bird of Paradise. Of course, you don't have to extend the leg when we get there. You can keep it bent. It's totally up to you. And then again, with the strap, you're just going to place it behind and wrap it so that your hands come as close as they can for that bind. Keeping the hips as nice, as soft as you can. Good. And release the strap, bringing the hands, back forward, come out of the lunge, extend that leg back, give it a good shake. And then find your double hip extension. So it could be, again, child's cat. To cobra. Oh, I love this one. Or again, you can come onto the forearms, elbows, or forehead to hands, bend the legs, rocking side to side. So whatever feels good. Again, the other option, again, forearms, elbows, flexing and extending here, or resting the forehead on the hands, bend the knees, rock the legs. Good. And then eventually, let's come back onto our hands and knees. And what might feel nice is a little bit of side bending. So we can walk the hands to one side. You can step. So if I walk to my right, I can step my left hand forward and just shift the pelvis towards the heels and away. Good. Again, nice and easy. Go gently. Don't push the stretch too far, yeah? Because sometimes we can overstretch and it can set us back. So go to what feels comfortable. Don't go to the point where you feel like, oh God, it's on the verge of snapping. No bueno. Walking to the left, stepping that right arm forward. And exhale, pelvis to heels. Good. Okay. Nice. And back to the center. This time you're going to bring your right foot forward again to find your lunge. And then you're going to curl the toes of the left foot and you're going to Bring that knee off the ground. I'm going to actually remove my blanket. And I'm going to bring that left foot a little closer towards my right. And here, of course, you can keep that right knee bent or you can extend it. And I want to find, again, that rotation in the thoracic spine. All right, so again, we want to find length before we rotate. So you're going to ground the hands. And if you need to elevate the ground, you can always put the hands on a bolster, on a block, whatever suits you. And then keep grounding in the feet. And then you're going to exhale, open that left arm up, bringing it down, and then opening that right arm up. Good. And just keep alternating for a few breaths. Good. Lovely. Let's do one more rotation towards the front leg. And then as you come to the center, you're going to externally rotate that left leg or the back leg. You can bend in that right knee. And again, what you can do here is explore the bind. So you can take that right arm, internally rotate that right arm, bring it up to the right side of the pelvis. Take that left arm back. You can find the hands, clasp the hands, bind the hands. Or again, I can take that strap behind me and wrap it as bringing the hands as close as you can, whatever feels comfortable. And then if you want to move into double leg extension or extending in that front leg, and then when you bend in that front leg, open up, lengthen and open. Good. Yeah, as I bend in that front leg, I'm thinking spine, tailbone away from each other as I open out. Good. Grounding in that heel. I know this is asking a lot, but this is where the challenge is coming in. Good. Nice. Release the hand. Come back to the center. Turn that back leg back to parallel. Send that right leg behind you. Give it a bit of a shake. Nice. And then let's step that left foot forward. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing. First, play with a little bit of rotation in the spine, grounding through both feet. If you want to bend in that left knee, you can. Opening out. And then back to the center, right hand on the ground, left arm opens. Also, I should have mentioned this on the other side. If you don't want to take the arm up towards the ceiling, you can always place it at the sacrum. Both with the left and right. Good. Let's do one more rotation towards that left leg. Nice. And then when you come back to the center, let's externally rotate that right hip and leg. You can find your bind. Again, you can use the strap or not, your choice. Sending that left leg under the left thigh, left arm and shoulder under the left leg, right arm behind. Again, you can either clasp the hands or use the strap and move between extending that left leg and bending Again, only extend as much as it feels comfortable. If this is a challenge, chances are when we're standing and moving into birds of paradise, most likely you'll keep the knee bent rather than extend it. Because again, we want to feel stable. And we can do that with the knee bent or extend it. Again, remember building blocks. Good, 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 good. Nice. Finding that length and rotation. Yes. Good. Release the hands. Bring them back to the center. Rotate that right leg back to parallel. Sending the left leg back. Give it a good shake. Hang out in downward dog, maybe for a breath or two, wiggling the pelvis side to side. Beautiful. And then either walk the hands to feet or feet to hands, rolling yourself up. Rolling the shoulders. Beautiful. We got a little click in that right shoulder. There we go. Clickety clack. All right, so we're going to bring the stool back into play as we did in the last video. Okay, so what we're going to do, things are going to get a little more challenging. And again, only take the steps that feel comfortable for you. Okay, but know that the variations and what we practiced in in the first video or the video previous to this, and the variations we're going to take currently, ultimately we're gaining the same benefits in terms of feeling solid, grounded, and at peace in a balancing posture. Okay, and so you get to choose whether the leg's bent, whether you do the bind, whether the leg's extended. Okay, because what we don't want to go for is compression and tension. We want openness, ease, mobility, malleability, flexibility. Okay, and flexibility is up here too, not just physically. All right, so let's bring our left foot to the stool. All right, so I'm just going to place the strap at the back. Okay, so if you want to roll the shoulders a little bit, maybe taking that right shoulder and arm, circling it one way and the other. Very nice. If you want to do what we did in the previous video, just leaning that left elbow on that left thigh. And then forward. Very nice. Good. You can do that in the left arm too, left shoulder. And forward. Good. Okay, so we can do this again with the strap or without. Your choice. Pay attention to the sensitivity in the shoulders. We do not want to over-rotate if we're not ready, or ever, really. Okay, so you can place, so hopefully by this time, we've already practiced finding our ease in stability in just holding the leg here, okay? So if that's not there, go back to last week's video and keep working on balancing on one foot, else this could be kind of dangerous if we don't feel strong in just this. The next stage is going to be more challenging and could maybe create issues because of the bind, and so our hands aren't as free to break our fall if that's what happens, okay? I'm not trying to scare you. I just want you to take it step by step and notice where, at what point you're ready to move to the next stage, okay? So from here, as we were doing in our sort of forward fold triangle or lunge, we're gonna internally rotate that left shoulder, feed it through underneath that left thigh, okay? I'm actually gonna go from behind here so you can see. I'm gonna feed it through and then internally rotate behind, take hold of the hands, okay? So I don't want it here. This is not what I want to give myself a little gotchy or a wedgie. I want the support to be under the thigh, okay? And then from here, I can play with bending in that right knee a little bit. See if I can come upright in the bind. And this is what I was mentioning before. Bink, 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 bink. Sometimes it's a matter of the length of your arms versus like compared to your torso. Okay, so know that could be a limitation, and that's nothing, you can't really do anything about that because that's just the length of your skeleton. Okay, I kind of have a little bit of that issue. Okay, so I want to come upright. See how you feel here. You might need to hang out here for a little bit just to get used to that. And then I'm going to ground through my right foot. Stabilize. Does that feel stable? Pretty good. Okay. If I want, I can come back down. Test it again. I want to be nice and straight. Well, feels pretty good. And then I can choose to, extend that left leg. Ground through the right foot. Yeah? So, if you're like me, and that is actually, this is what I was saying previously, that it can be not super comfortable because of the length of our skeleton. That's when the strap could be your best friend. So I'm gonna do the same thing and take the strap behind me, hold it in my right hand, feed my left hand through, and then I'm going to wrap the strap, place it under that thigh, bring the hands as close together as I can, find my balance, and then extend. And I can just take a few breaths here. You don't even need to hang out there for too long. Yeah? Good. I'm going to try this one more time with the bind. Nope, I'm just going to keep it bent. Yeah, so knowing your limitations there. Okay, so when you're satisfied with that left side, testing your balance, testing the extension. If you like, you don't, again, have to extend the leg. Keep it bent. Just get used to the bind, the positioning of the hands, and hanging out there, balancing through the right foot. Okay, so when you're satisfied with that, let's move to the right, bringing the stool over to your right. Same thing, I can rest that right arm, elbow on my right thigh. And then send that left arm above the head and circling in that left shoulder. Good, and circle forward. Nice. And then I can circle with that right shoulder. And forward. Beautiful. And then let's, get our bind going. So again, I want to ground not just in that supporting leg, but that foot that's on the stool. I want to ground it a little bit just to make sure my stool doesn't whoop, whoop, peace out. Okay. So let's find our bind. You're going to send that right arm underneath the right leg, left arm behind. See if you can find the hands. Okay. Get to a position that feels nice and solid. Coming upright. Yeah. Oh, this is why the thoracic spine rotation is important in this too. Shoulders, hammies. Yeah. And then remove the foot off the stool. How does that feel? Good. And then if you want to extend that right leg, again, if you can talk, that means you're breathing. That means we're good. Finding ease. Yeah, nice. So trying that a few times. Again, you can use the strap. I'm going to try the strap on this one. Feeding it through. Bring the hands as close as you can with the strap. Again, first come upright. How is the bind? Can I come upright? Can I release that foot off? And then if you choose to, you can extend. Cool. Good. Nice. So take all the time you need playing from right to left. Yeah. And then eventually keep breathing. You got to keep breathing. Roll out the shoulders every so often. Step one leg back. Yeah, I got a bit of extension in that hip. Good. And then if you choose to, if you feel that you feel quite solid in the bind, with the strap or without the strap, solid on that one foot, solid with either the knee bent or extended, again, can keep it bent. We can try another variation where we come from folding forward. This really challenges our stability, okay? So this is where we really need to utilize that out breath, pouring the energy of the out breath into our beautiful supporting leg. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll forward. Again, this is optional. You're going to take that left arm, internally rotate the shoulders, send it underneath that left thigh. Okay, bending in the knees. Then you can take that right arm up and back to find the left hand. You're gonna walk that right foot closer to the left. Oh, sorry. You're gonna come onto the right foot. That's your stabilizing foot. My apologies. And bring that left foot closer to the right. And then you're gonna keep testing your stability. How is this feeling? Bending in that right leg, rolling yourself up. Exhale, ground, ground, ground through that right leg, right foot. Again, this might be good enough. You might say, hey, I'm quite happy here. Or again, you can extend that leg. Keep breathing. Again, I'll show you with the strap. Same thing, I can, in my right hand, hold the strap, place it behind me, feeding that left hand through, find the strap, roll the hands together as close as you can. Again, stabilizing in that right foot, leg. Keep that leg bent until you come upright. Then extend the leg. Try not to hyperextend. Keep a slight bend. That's going to help you drop the pelvis. And soften that left hip. And then extend. Breathe. I'm not sure why this is birds of paradise. It doesn't feel like paradise. Anyways, yoga can be fun too. We don't have to take it so seriously, but that's a part of it, right? If we take it too seriously, that brings on tension. So we want to stay easy, focused, but easy and relaxed. Good. Beautiful. So as much of that side as you'd like, release the leg. Bend the knees, shake out the pelvis. Shake it out, shake it out. Figure eight, figure eight, figure eight. Good. Just know that you attempting this, moving through, exploring the different variations that work for you, all of that is what's important, okay? The end result is not what's important. It's how you are moving through the process, okay? That's actually the yoga. How do I move through and process, or move through the process towards something that's challenging? Okay, and then when you arrive there, finding peace. Yeah, because of how you spoke to yourself and navigated that challenge. All right? So all of us are going to have different goals and stepping stones. Okay, so make sure you celebrate each step, no matter where it is, no matter where you are. Celebrate yourself and your steps. Okay, let's go into that right side. So rolling down, bending in the knees. Let's internally rotate that right arm. I'm going to just start with the strap because I know for me, it's what works best. The other way does not feel pleasant. Does not feel like paradise. Okay, let's wrap and strap or not. Your choice. Shift your weight onto that left foot, left leg. Nice and strong. Check yourself through the steps as you roll up. Do you need more exhalation? Energy of that out breath down that left leg into that left foot. Again, coming upright. How does it feel? You might hang out here, or you might hang out here. So find what feels good for you. Find ease, peace, wherever you are. You're all amazing. You're doing great. Bend the knee at any point. Readjust, recalibrate, ground in that left foot, left leg, and extend. Good. Find that length through the spine, opening the shoulders out. Beautiful. Nice work. Release the strap. Whoops. Or your hands. Shake it out. Roll the shoulders. Find your figure eight. Work out that pelvis. Dance the pelvis. Dance it out. Great. This is so important. Our counter movements. So that if we don't do counter movements, we can get stuck if there's any tension gathered or any holding gathered in whatever posture or movement we're working towards, especially if it's challenging for us, okay? So finding counter movements that feel good and help to loosen up any of the areas that gather tension. For me specifically, just a little bit in the hip, a little bit in the SI. Like I said, not something I practice really at all. It just doesn't, I don't find it necessary for my life, but that's just me. But I understand that this can be exciting for some people. So hopefully this series and these videos have been helping you. Just even if you get to one of the steps, even just the balancing, whatever it is, I'm just so grateful that I could offer up different options and a way into it. But if you practice it regularly, you can create this beautiful flower, bird of paradise flower. All right. So when you're satisfied with all that, coming to the back of the mat, roll yourself down. Nice. Bending the knees. Find your downward dog. Good. And then maybe lowering the knees. Again, let's find our double hip extension. So we can go from child's cat to cobra. Nice long spine. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that feels so good and long. Or I can come onto my elbows, forearms. Or forehead to hands, bend the knees, rock the legs. Good. So take as much double hip flexion or hip extension as you need. And then eventually let's roll onto the back. This is just going to feel so nice after that. Take the legs a little wider and then rock the legs side to side. Beautiful. If you want to take the arms wide. Good. And then give yourself a moment to rest. You can rest with the legs extended out in front of you, or you can take your stool or your chair and then just place the legs over the stool or another piece of furniture, or the legs up the wall. Just give yourself a moment to rest here. Congratulate yourself. Thank yourself for giving you the opportunity to, even if you didn't achieve it in the way you wanted to, or your expectations, you didn't exceed your expectations, it's all good. Please celebrate the process. Celebrate your efforts. Because it's going to be different every time you revisit it, okay? Awesome. Thank you so much for joining in this series. I hope that you found it useful, and please be sure to let me know if you want to fill me in or update me in during your process, what you're discovering, what you're learning about yourself. Love, love, love to hear that. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment box below, or you can send me an email or direct message either on Instagram, or email me at julie@livewithese.ca. And be sure to share this video, this series, or this channel with anyone who you think could benefit from it. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have any requests, send them my way. I love getting requests. It's a lot of fun to be of service, to help you work towards something that inspires you, or that you're interested in. All right, my friends, be well, go easy, go gently, be patient with yourself, have grace. You're amazing. Until next time, ease into your best life. Think love, speak love, be love.